star of the day, as I said, was David Beckham, and he spoke after paying his respects to the Queen and the coffin, and I'll play for you what David Beckham had to say afterwards. I thought it was brilliant. And what an effort. He could have taken the dignitary line and got through very quickly, but no, he stayed and lined up for 11 hours and munched on donuts. He's allowed to munch on whatever he wants if he's going to sacrifice that. And a lot of people are saying, as Clinton will explain to us a little later, a lot of people are saying, well, yes, we lined up a long time, and yes, it was cold, and yes, it was hard to stay on your feet, but that's the least we could do after 70 years on the throne. And the Queen Elizabeth sacrificing so much, we can sacrifice that 11 hours. Interesting, isn't it? A little later in the program, just after 10 o'clock, I'm going to catch up with Senator Holly Hughes. Lots to talk about, the hypocrisy of those teals. This week has seen the teals show their true colours, and Holly Hughes will talk about that today. I've got plenty to say about it as well. One of the teals, Monique Ryan, Dr. Monique Ryan from Kooyong in Melbourne, she's come up with this idea to have a COVID summit. A summit. All we need is a Royal Commission so that we can actually tell and see for ourselves why they made the decisions they did, and whether they did so to control us or whether they did so on authentic and genuine medical advice. And the only way you're going to tell people to tell the truth is in a commission, not in a summit. This is what happens when the teals have nothing else to push. You know, their two policies are all done and dusted, and now they've got nothing else to stand for. So their third policy is a COVID summit. If that's all you've got much. You haven't got much. We'll catch up with Simon Stevenson in Ask a Tradie. We've got finance with Peter Switzer. He is back. Big day at Randwick and Caulfield. Adam Hamilton from Ladbrokes will help us through all of that. It's all things automotive today with John Rocker. And are you ready for the jump of about 25 cents in petrol prices in about 2 weeks' time? Are you preparing for that? Have you got your drums out to get extra fuel supplies? People will do that because these are fuel prices off the chart now that they have lifted the discount on excise. So back to the future. We'll talk to John Rocker a little bit later and take your calls. As I say, good tucker, big news for the macadamia industry. We'll talk to one of the managers of Australian Macadamia Society. We've got Track of the Day. We've got the Rolling Quiz. We'll talk to Mark Levy, and the continuous call team will be stationed in Allianz this afternoon, ready for the big game tonight. It's one of those great Saturdays where you get to catch up on things around the house, enjoy the sunshine, and have the radio on, hopefully wherever you might be today. The number's 131873. So much to talk about, and by all means, let us have it. You're with Chris Smith, broadcasting live from 2GB in Sydney. Well, even in our own unspectacular lives, who gets an invitation to the big events like birthdays or weddings can cause major domestic fury, domestic division, right? And when you're dealing with a royal funeral of the magnitude set down for Westminster Abbey on Monday evening, well, which nations' leaders are sent or not sent an invite can create major international diplomatic drama. And with all the invites out and the RSVPs in, that's what's transpired. Drama. 6 nations have missed the cut. Syria, Venezuela, Afghanistan, Belarus, Myanmar, and Russia. And guess which country has blown up deluxe about being snubbed? The Russians. Had they forgotten that they invaded their sovereign democratic neighbours Ukraine without an ounce of provocation or a single justifiable reason? Those officially appointed propagandists inside the Kremlin, they are so incredibly adept at ignoring the obvious and creating the country's own truths. The UK has not only been scathing of Moscow's murderous attack on Ukraine, but have sent immense amounts of military hardware and money to defeat Russia. So despite relations between the two countries being as close as you can get to war, according to the Russians, they still expected an invite to the royal funeral. How delusional would you have to be? And then we heard from Big Mouth Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova. She released a statement saying, "We see this British attempt to use the national tragedy, which has touched the hearts of millions of people around the world, for geopolitical purposes to settle scores with our country, as deeply immoral. This is particularly blasphemous towards Elizabeth II's memory." She added, "The unifying image of Queen Elizabeth II, who has not interfered with politics as a matter of principle during her reign, has not become an obstacle to London's dissenting attacks, which are subject to accomplishing their own conjectural objectives, whatever that means. I don't know whether they say this stuff for local consumption. Maybe that's what it's for, so that their people can be deceived. But Russians couldn't possibly believe this propaganda, could they? Vladimir Putin did place a message on the Kremlin's website last week referring to King Charles, stating, "Your Majesty, please accept our deepest condolences on the passing of Queen Elizabeth. The most important events in the recent history of the United Kingdom are inextricably linked with the name of Her Majesty." So maybe Putin thought that if he sent a condolence message, all would be forgiven. That the palace would just ignore the deaths of 6,000 civilians, almost 400 children, and serious injuries inflicted on 9,000 Ukrainians. They must be delusional. Now, since Maria Zakharova's broadside, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has taken a different tack, trying to save Russian face. He claimed Vladimir Putin had no plans to attend Queen Elizabeth's funeral anyway. So it's like, nah. Those who have confirmed their attendance include US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill, French President Emmanuel Macron, Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, and Queen Marguerite II of Denmark, who, by the way, is now Europe's longest-serving head of state. First Lady of Ukraine, Elena Zelenska, is among the 500 heads of state and dignitaries invited to the service, and there'll be a VIP reception on Sunday, so tomorrow, prior to the funeral. But the invite list has caused angst on the other side as well. A group of British legislators who just happen to face sanctions from China have written to officials expressing concern that a Chinese government official has been invited to the funeral. Conservative lawmaker Tim Lawton has told the BBC the invitation to China, and accepted by Vice President Wang Qishan, should be rescinded, citing the country's human rights abuses of Uyghurs in Xinjiang. It was never going to be an easy job deciding who gets to attend the world's most watched funeral in decades for the world's most famous and loved monarch. Someone somewhere was always going to get their nose out of joint. But in Putin's case, he was never going to receive an invite to the funeral. In fact, Russia will be treated like the pariahs they chose to be for decades to come. Clinton Maynard in London coming up shortly on the program. Lots to talk about. A very busy time in London overnight and lots to tell you about. I also want to take your calls about whether you would line up for 11 hours if we got, say, hypothetically, a chance to pay our respects to the Queen's coffin in the same way that's available to Britons at the moment. Would you line up for 11 hours, 12 hours to do that? I think a lot of Australians would. Let me know what you thought, and have you thought about that? 22 minutes after 9. The other thing is there are travel agencies saying they have taken bookings from a huge number of Australians last week who were heading to London to do exactly what I'm referring to. So the answer is yes, many would, because they've travelled to London to do so. Give us a call on 131873.
Traffic, opinions that matter, news you can trust. Sydney's 2GB.
At Chippendale, there's a Pantech truck broken down on Cleveland Street, westbound in the right lane, 100 metres before City Road. Lincoln, the lights flashing yellow on Parramatta Road at Day Street. Stratfield, busy line up Centenary Drive northbound to Arthur Street. Wiley Drive up on above the Canterbury Road at King George's Road. Through Campsie, you're on the brakes driving Beamy Street. I'm Jason Bowman on Sydney's traffic leader, 2GB 873.
When it happens in Sydney, turn to the number one. Opinions that matter, news you can trust, live and local. 2GB 873. The continuous call team.
Normally when I go jump on a flight now, I say to the hostesses there at the front, will I get an extender please? I don't want to seat up and squeeze. You know, sometimes I can't feel my legs, sometimes I can't even see them. That's not causing a big bill.
The hours that you can't see or feel.
The continuous call team, thanks to McDonald's, Harvey Norman, First National Real Estate, Honda MPE, Ampol, Oz Off-Road Penrose and Rosemead. Friday, Saturday and Sunday on 2GB.
Conquering the everyday to achieving your lifelong goals.
If you're blind or experiencing low vision, we can help you live life on your terms. Vision Australia, powering your independence. Visit visionaustralia.org/independence.
When you're building or renovating and want to save money, run to Tile Factory Outlet in Smithfield. TFO has Australia's largest range of floor tiles, bathroom tiles, outdoor tiles, pavers, mosaics and stone from around the world at incredibly low prices. Right now you can get your feet on Italian porcelain floor tiles from $15 a square metre, with stock available for delivery or same-day pickup. Get into TFO, open 7 days, or shop online at tfo.com.au. Visit us or pay the price.
Well, listeners, we have a brand new sponsor to the program. Motor One Car Care joined us on the Chris Smith Show, and they are now proud sponsors of John Rocker's All Things Automotive. And it's lovely to have the team at Motor One Car Care on board. Look, it's a fact that your car is usually your second biggest financial investment, right? And it's Motor One's aim to help you preserve and protect that investment, all the while enhancing your driving experience. At Motor One Car Care, they offer industry-leading hydro surface protection, best-of-breed window tints, and award-winning black view dash cams. Ask about Motor One Car Care, exclusive to your local dealership, or visit their website today at motor1.com. Motor One Car Care, proud sponsors of John Rocker's All Things Automotive segment.
Breakout River Meats wants to share a little secret with you. Right now is the best time of the year to eat cow lamb. They are new season, tender, tasty, and full of omega-3 goodness. From now until the end of spring, cow lamb is at its absolute finest. It's time to treat yourself to one of life's great pleasures. Cow lamb, only from your local butcher, selected Harris Farm and IGA stores. For locations, go to breakoutriver.com.au.
Places are filling fast for Westbourne College 2023, the UK's IB School of the Year, now in Sydney. Uniquely STEM-centric, co-educational, IB-only and future-focused, Westbourne College is a new school for the best, brightest and most globally ambitious Year 11 and 12 students, offering world-class career development and global opportunities for your child. Scholarships are available. Don't miss out. Apply at westbournecollege.com.au or call 80880719.
The Chris Smith Show at Bingley receive free full-service delivery when you buy a selected laundry appliance. Head to bingley.com.au today. Bingley, better living every day.
Yeah, so travel agents through the week were saying that they've taken a lot of bookings from Australians who decided, I want to give thanks to the Queen, I want to travel to London, I want to be part of this procession of mourning. And so there are many Australians within those 700,000 people who have lined up for hours on end to pay their respects. And I think if we had the opportunity to do so here, and it won't happen, I know that, but I'm just thinking hypothetically, I think our devotion to the monarchy, in particular the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, would be enough for very long lines and a very similar dedication. What are your thoughts? 131873 is the telephone number. The other talking point is this drink, the Queen's favourite drink, which is running off the shelves. The French aperitif, du bonnet, isn't really something that most of us drink in Australia. And I suspect many of us have never heard about it or tried it. It's not really an Aussie bloke's type of drink, but maybe your mother had a bottle in the cupboard in that very special room where no one was allowed to go into. You'll be surprised to know that Australia's royal fans are keen to raise a glass to the Queen, leading to a surprise surge in the demand for Dubonnet, the monarch's favourite tipple. BWS and Dan Murphy's enjoyed a 465% increase in sales in the 3 days following the Queen's death compared to a normal week. She was reportedly such a fan of Dubonnet and gin cocktail that she awarded the aperitif a royal warrant in 2021, especially allowing the company to include the phrase, by appointment to HM the Queen on the drink's label as a mark of prestige. How good is that? How good is that? And when you think about it, I heard that she would take a Dubonnet gin cocktail daily. It would be something she would have daily. So maybe that is the secret to longevity. Dubonnet and gin cocktail. And what about the other drinks we used to have in that favourite cupboard in that special room in the house where no one was allowed to go into? You know, we used to have ginger wine. And we used to have, what else? Oh, Tia Maria. Tia Maria, bottles of Tia Maria, they would be in that special cupboard, in that special room. Weren't allowed to go anywhere near it. But it would always be used when people came over. You know, guests, family members, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. What did you have in that special cupboard? 131873. Just a little bit of a piece of news coming from Jerry at Eastern Creek. Something occurring on the M7. Go ahead, Jerry.
G'day, Chris. How are you, mate?
Very well, thank you.
Good to hear. Yeah, I'm just travelling south, going out to the, what do you call it, the zoo. And on the, sorry, I'm going north. And on the opposite side, south, there must have been about 20 to 25 police cars and about 30 motorbikes, police motorbikes. And they're pulling over a hell of a lot of other motorbikes. So there's something going on there, Chris, some type of operation. Just thought I'd...
All right, thank you, mate. And exactly whereabouts? Heading west?
Heading south, I spent off at the Eastern Creek turn-off, so about 3 kilometres back on the opposite side.
Okay, I know where you're talking about. M7, yeah, that is heading south. Exactly right. Good on you, Jerry. Thank you very much for that. And for those who might be travelling in that direction, that's what the slow-up might be, or the delay. That's what you'll face. A fairly hefty police operation by the sound of it. And it looks like as if that might be a series of arrests of a bikie gang, if they've got that many police bikes in attendance. Yeah, if you want to drink this Dubonnet the way the Queen drank it, you get a shot of gin mixed with 2 shots of Dubonnet with ice and lemon. And then she had a daily glass of champagne, they reckon, as well. Maybe that was the reason why she lived so long. Just don't have 40 of them. That's the only problem. Sim, good morning.
Okay, Chris, how you doing, mate?
Very well.
Don't know whether I would be wanting 40 glasses of champagne. I think I'd be legless by the time I'd finished it. But we're not talking about 40, sorry, I thought you were talking about 40 glasses at once, so okay, I misheard that, yeah, okay. Look, just on lining up to meet the Queen, lining up to see the historic events in London, look, I admire the people doing it. I don't know whether I would necessarily do it. I don't even know if I'd even have the means to pretty much pack my bags and leave, because you can't really leave today, haven't you? You're going to leave for the airport today and literally fly out tonight to get them.
Yeah, I think they're stopping the pilgrimage tonight, so you won't make it.
Oh, yeah. You won't make it, that's right. So you kind of had to have left yesterday.
But I think, hypothetically, if it was held here, a lot of Australians would turn up.
I would. If it was held here, I probably would. Yeah, I mean, if it was held here, I probably would like, if it was the Prime Minister or somebody really historic like that, and they've done some very historic things, and, you know, people are, whatever it is, I probably might line up, because it's not every day that you would get to experience something like that. I imagine when and if any of our former Prime Ministers ever pass, I'm sure there'll be people wanting to pay their respects. Yeah. I don't know whether I'll line up for it.
Depending on the Prime Minister, Steve, depending on the Prime Minister. Thank you very much for the call, appreciate that. 131873. Now, I think I've got an answer as to why there's all these police motorbikes. It's not necessarily a police operation. Jim, it's wall to wall, is it?
Yeah, well, it's we were outside TGB this morning, but they're travelling motorcade down to Canberra.
Yes, I've been on this twice, and it's a wonderful event to be part of. You turn up on your motorcycle, they get together over at the Domain. There's usually about 700 participating, and they get this rails run down the M7 and then along to Canberra all the way through. Thank you, Jim. Okay. Appreciate that. Right. It's in dedication to those that lost their lives in the line of duty. It's a wonderful thing to be part of. As I say, I've done it twice. It's wall to wall, charity motorbike ride, and it's on today. It goes all the way to Canberra, and I'll go to the National Police Memorial in Canberra. So they set off at 7:30 this morning. That's what that is all about. Not necessarily some bikie. Well, it is a bikie collection of people. Lots of bikies, but bikers, not bikies. On the M7, 131873 is the telephone number. I want to take a break, and then we'll go straight to London and Clinton Maynard.
Ja, so, we're Mission Mark, just back from Greece.
In time for spring. We just love spring. It's home makeover heaven.
And Mitchie Decoruck has got all the spring looks covered. Coastal, Hampton, boho, timber flooring, carpet, shutters and blinds.
And a super range of machine washable indoor and outdoor rugs at up to 50% off. Whoopah!
Get the alfresco ready, Mitchie. It's Uzo time.
And here's something new. Mitch and Mark's Mix and Match Tips.
Follow us across all Deco Rug social.
Decorug helping you decorate better this spring.
The Maserati Levante GT Elite. From a heritage that was born on the track over 100 years ago, lifts the heartbeat of a Maserati bred to the road. With a limited amount of bespoke SUVs available with unique features, we know they'll go fast. Limited vehicles remain and are available for immediate delivery, but only until September 30. Contact Maserati Sydney or Artarmon today. MD 11624.
Now this year, Viking is celebrating 25 years in business. They have an award-winning fleet of over 80 river, ocean and expedition ships. They now take curious travellers to all 7 continents. And did you know that Viking has also accumulated more than 250 awards, including the #1 ocean line and #1 river line in Travel and Leisure's 2022 World's Best Awards. Now, to celebrate their 25th anniversary, you can save up to $8,000 per couple on 2023 Viking cruises. Plus, you could win one of 3 cruises in their biggest ever cruise giveaway, valued at over $75,000. So what are you waiting for? Join the celebrations and explore the world in comfort the Viking way. No kids, no casinos, everything you need included. Viking.com.
Can I have a flat white to take away, thanks?
Sure, that'll be $10.
Sorry? But the cafe down the road has the same coffee beans and the same milk for only $4.
Yeah, well, ours is $10, Dale.
Ah, I see.
Should have gone to Specsavers, because whether you're buying coffee or hearing aids, you shouldn't have to pay top dollar for top-of-the-range features. Book a free 15-minute hearing check today at specsavers.com.au/hearing. Conditions apply. Places are filling fast for Westbourne College 2023, the UK's IB School of the Year, now in Sydney. Uniquely STEM-centric, co-educational, IB-only and future-focused, Westbourne College is a new school for the best, brightest and most globally ambitious Year 11 and 12 students, offering world-class career development and global opportunities for your child. Scholarships are available. Don't miss out. Apply at westbournecollege.com.au or call 80880719.
At Sydney Blinds and Screens, receive free installation across their entire range of blinds, including motorisation. Call to book your free measure, quote and installation today. Visit sydneyblinds.com.au. Best prices ever seen at Sydney Blinds and Screens.
The Chris Smith Show at Bingley. Receive free full-service delivery when you buy a selected laundry appliance. Head to bingley.com.au today. Bingley, better living every day.
Let's go live to London now. I've got Clinton Maynard on the line right now. Hi, Clinton.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, good morning to you. So the line to see the Queen lying in state and pay their respects is still winding its way along the Thames. It has been amazing in the last few days. It was paused for a while. Explain that to us.
Just absolutely astonishing, isn't it? It was paused for about between 6 and 7 hours during Friday, London time. And a message went out effectively, and it went out through social media, but I was at a train station at the time, and there was actually messages at the train stations: do not join the queue, it is officially paused. Now, when we say paused, the queue was still moving, people were still making their way through it and making their way into Westminster Hall to then file past the Queen's coffin, but at that point the authorities would not let anyone join. And the simple reason for that, the wait times at that point had blown out to 24 hours, can you believe? Now, after about 6-7 hours, they decided we'll reopen the queue. The wait time now is down to 22 hours, and the official word from the authorities is, yes, you can join, but bear in mind it'll be 22 hours, and it is going to be a particularly cold night in London for this time of the year, so you are going to need to be well prepared for a cold night sitting in the queue. Just astonishing.
Yeah, amazing. It underlines and is great testimony to their love for the Queen. Now, apparently there's an express lane for dignitaries, Clinton. What about that?
Well, it depends who you are. So, Anthony